Toledo's Kansas News Leader.
This segment sponsored by Carlson Financial.
Most of us should have a financial plan, whether you're looking to get started or needing to review what you already have. Carlson with Carlson Financial is here with a bit of a checklist to walk you through this. And this is, we talk at the beginning of the year about making resolutions, making a plan. This is where you tell us, don't keep it on the shelf and never look at it.
Yeah.
How often should we be checking in on this financial plan?
Yeah, so most big financial firms, if you're using a big name firm, they'll build a financial plan, but then they don't ever look at it. So really what I think is at least annually. So I've had folks come into the office and say, hey, we've been with this other financial planner for 10 years and they said we'd have $2 million now because we started with $1 million. Now we still only have $1 million. So when was the time they should have started making adjustments on that? 9 years ago, after the first year, because you don't want to wait 10 years and then have to really almost start all over again. So annually.
But you don't need $1 million to make your plan.
No.
You just need to start somewhere. And so with your $1, what should be in that financial plan? Where do we start?
Okay, so you're starting with all of your, so it's almost like a mini budget is going inside the financial plan, all your income, but now you're doing it over multiple years. So maybe you're going to have an income. Now you're going to talk about how much do you think it's going to increase over 1 year to the next. So maybe you're using 3% a year, that's raises. And but then maybe you're going to say, well, at about age 60, I might retire. And then at age 62, I'm going to start Social Security, but then I have this pension. So you're putting in all, and then if you have a spouse, all the details for them. So this is now looking far out, today and all the way maybe even to age 100, because a lot of people are living long now. So income, and then your expenses. So year by year by year. So that might even be, well, we're going to pay off our mortgage in 20 years. So your expenses drop by $2,500 a month in 20 years. So all the different, and on your expenses, get the inflation rate in there. Okay,
which has been a little difficult to predict these past couple of years, obviously.
So the last 40 years, inflation in the U.S. has averaged about 2.6, 2.7%, which isn't too bad. Now, there was that period back in the 70s where it was averaged over 7% a year for 10 years. Now, we're looking at that. Hopefully, that doesn't happen now.
Right.
But you got to pick something, maybe 2.5%, 3%, because also oftentimes the older people get, the less they tend to spend. You don't spend as much when you're 85 that you spent when you were 65. So that's in the plan. So if I retire when I'm 60, I might want another 10 grand a year for 10 years to go travel and do things. That's all your income and expenses. Get those in there.
And on the income side, how do you plan for what your investments are going to do?
Yeah, so then you have all these numbers going out through the years, and it's going to show you, here's your income, here's your expenses. Oh, I would have taxes in there too to keep track of that, but those are expenses.
We probably should pay our taxes, otherwise we're going to get in trouble, right?
Yeah, so then each year that's going to show you this is how much you can save. And year by year by year, you're going to see the number in there. Okay, it's 7,000, then it's going to grow to 10,000 because I'm getting raises, and then it's going to grow to 20,000 eventually. So then that's showing you each year, and then that money goes over and you put it into investments each year. Okay, I'm showing I saved 20,000. This year I'm going to put 10,000 into growth stocks and 10,000 into CDs or whatever you want. So you're doing that year by year by year, and then you put in a growth rate on your money. So that means how much do I think my money's going to grow each year? 5%, 7%, 10%, 12%. And you want to do that by category. So the CDs may not grow by 10% a year, but maybe your growth stocks will.
And this is where you don't put it on the shelf and come back 10 years later, because what happens when we have a year of wacky inflation like we just had, or a year when all of a sudden the stock market drops out, right?
Right. So then you're looking at your plan. Oh, we had a little problem here at the end of the year, beginning of the year. Here we are. How do I adjust now? So that's the important thing. Each year, look at it. What kind of adjustments do I need to make? Did I have something wrong? Did my investing advisor not do something right? Did I spend way too much? Let's get it fixed and get it corrected, and then move into the next year.
It's a plan that's flexible, a living, breathing document that you can change as you go along.
Exactly.
Perfect. Appreciate the reminder and going through all of that, Carl. Thank you so much. We're going to be back with your forecast next.